Hi, this episode of the Poundcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Therapy Online.
As the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists available 100% online. Plus, it's affordable.
Just fill out a brief questionnaire to match with a therapist. If things aren't clicking, you can easily switch to a new therapist anytime. It couldn't be simpler.
No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/poundcast.
That's betterhelp.com/poundcast. Now let's talk about Louisville Vegan Foods, our other sponsor, okay?
Okay.
Zed, he's going to be our guest soon on the show, but he's waiting patiently. LouisvilleVeganFoods.com is our sponsor. They make Louisville vegan jerky. And when you go there, you can use the code word Poundcast to get 20% off your entire order, Brent.
Indeed, indeed.
And this jerky comes in many different flavors. Wonderful, made in the USA, GMO-free, plant-based jerky, and it is bagged in the United States. They make it in Louisville, Kentucky.
Shelf life in 9 months.
That's right. LouisvilleVeganFoods.com. Don't forget it. Use the code word Poundcast. Don't forget it.
20% off.
20% off. You can buy it at Whole Foods, Sprouts, and if you go to that website, they'll show you where you can buy it if you don't want to buy it online.
You heard it here first.
Another way to support our Poundcast is to directly support us with patreon.com/poundcast. This is what keeps the wheels rolling, Zed. Patreon.com/poundcast. When you join our Patreon, you will get a bonus extended cut of every episode. Because today we talked to Zed, but then we kept talking another half hour, 35, 40 minutes on Unzipped. The only way to get Unzipped is go to patreon.com/poundcast. What else we got for business-wise, Brent?
YouTube.com/ThePoundcast.
And social media, The Poundcast?
The Poundcast.
That's right. Twitter?
The Poundcast.
Okay, check us out.
And,
oh, you know what?
That's about it.
I'm going to Portland in in November.
Dip?
Yeah. I'm going to do a little show at, I don't know where, on November 14th. I don't know where it's called, but keep your eyes open. Just look for me on, I'm going to be an opening act for a skate video premiere that I'm in Portland, November 14th. So check that out.
Well, December 4th.
Yeah.
I'm doing a show in Cottage Grove,
Illinois.
Oregon.
Oh, Oregon.
Is it Cottage Grove? I don't know. I got to look that up.
Cottage Cheese, Oregon.
It's something cottagey or something.
Just look up Brent online. If you're in Oregon, or if you're not even there, go fly see him. Start driving now.
Yeah. Might be Cottage Grove. I don't know, something like that.
Okay, should we roll the clip?
Let's roll it.
Do we have a remix, or should we just roll the clip?
I don't think we do, but if you just go to the theme songs tab of the documents.
I don't know if it's called that.
There it is. There you go, right there.
Nope.
There we go, right there.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Oh, there you go. Ooh.
This one?
This was perfect because we kind of talk about Halloween stuff.
Yeah, this is Halloween week, but the week it comes out is the week after Halloween, but it's still Halloween season. So that's why we can play the Spooky Ooky remix of the Poundcast theme by Ryan Coates. That's RYRY Scruffy Muffin. Ry Scruffy Muffin on Instagram. So check it out. Check him out. Check out this remix. And then we're going to get on with the show with our friend Zed Cutsinger. Roll the clip.
Ready?
Doug. On the Poundcast. Doug. Doug. On the Poundcast.
Welcome to the Poundcast. Today, we are back with one of our favorite recurring guests, Zed Cutsinger.
Zedariah.
The Z-Man.
Guess what? I went into his restaurant, and he was there.
Uh-huh.
And I looked really cool because I forgot. I was with some friends. My friend who just moved here. Somebody wanted the roll.
The Cuban roll.
From
You
your
call it
restaurant.
the muff?
I don't know what it is. The piece of bread that's round.
The muff. Yeah, can we get some muff for the table? Can we
And I'm like, can I name the restaurant or do you want me to blow it up?
No, don't name it.
Don't blame
name
it. So I go,
Too many
you know
people will
what?
show up, yeah.
I think my friend works there. I walk in and I see you and it's like, yes, sir. Let me get you the best table in the house. Felt like a real king.
Oh, yeah? You gave him a treatment?
I put on the Crystal song. It was like that scene in Goodfellas. We walked Doug through the basement.
Yeah, it was like
kinda,
that one long shot too.
Yeah. The whole thing was one take?
It was one take.
You guys did it in one take?
One take, yeah.
Normally, we kind of go more Boz Luhrmann, many cuts. But yeah, for Doug, we did a one take.
That was more of a Scorsese
And
style.
he goes,
It was
I gotta leave now.
Orson Welles style.
He's like, I gotta leave now, but I'm gonna make sure a good server takes care of you.
Right.
I'm like, what? All they gotta do is just bring the food out we asked for, really.
Yeah.
Zed's the owner.
Yeah.
The restaurant's called Zed's.
Yeah. Which I guess I didn't want you guys to say because, I guess it's obvious, but now, I guess we could do some more business. Yeah, one of my coworkers he kind of came over and kind of blew up your spot a little bit though, right?
It was kind of weird. He's like, he comes up, he's like, hey, Doug, big fan of Office Hours. Or something like that. And I'm like, oh, thank you. And he kind of just goes, you know what I mean? He was like complimenting me, but then he didn't I was like, thanks, man. But then he looked like upset that I said that or something. I don't know. It was just something awkward kind of happening there.
Yeah. I think that's more him.
But you know who
than-
else was in there? SpongeBob. SpongeBob was sitting. Tom Kenny.
Yeah.
Tom Kenny was right there. I'm like, welcome to LA, buddy.
You should have
with my
said-
friend. I'm like, oh yeah, that's just SpongeBob. No big deal.
You should have told the guy who came up to you, well, you got SpongeBob over there. Talk to him, too.
Yeah. What about SpongeBob?
Wonder about SpongeBob.
Well,
and then Tom Kenny's like, he's like looking at us like that. That'd be funny.
Well, I set it up to Doug. I'm like, hey, the guy over there, I don't know his name, but he's from Mr. Show. And the Doug looks over, he's like, that's SpongeBob. But I guess to me, he's like Mr. Show.
No, to me, he is Mr. Show, but
Okay.
Is it Sponge Bop or Sponge Bob?
It's Sponge Muff.
the Sponge Pop.
Sponge Pop. Sponge Pop. What an interesting idea. What's a sponge pop? It's a sponge that is a little pop that
It's a frozen sponge on a stick.
Oh, this is how you do it. When you wet it, you put it in your mouth to wet it, and that's how you...
no, this is a good
frozen.
idea. You soak it in juice, and it's a reusable sponge pop.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm
so
saying?
you can just suck on
You
it.
freeze it. You soak it in juice, freeze it, then you got a sponge pop.
That's interesting.
Reusable.
And then when you're done, you just reuse it.
Well, I was also thinking you could use it to clean. You clean stuff, and then when you need to wash it off, you just lick it off, and then you start cleaning more. That's how you wet it, too, in the first place. You know what I mean?
I guess it depends on what you're cleaning.
You cleaning your buttock or whatever,
You're singular?
Yeah, just one half of a buttock, just the one cheek.
Yeah, I feel like it's always butt talks. Like, I've never really heard the singular, but...
But talk.
But talk.
Well, it's always one gene. It's
I
funny.
got kicked in a buttock.
Okay, in fashion, when they refer to pants, they say pant.
Yes.
They say, oh yeah, he's wearing the pant, right? Well, in fashion, perhaps they should start referring to buttocks as the buttock.
I like that.
Talk.
I guess for underwear, right?
Well, this bottom piece was designed for the buttock, and he's wearing a cheek wrap.
Cheek wrap.
I don't know, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it could also go, I guess, asymmetrical. So it is just, it only covers one buttock.
I've seen asymmetrical underwear for men where it kind of holds the genitalia and it kind of wraps around only one side. It might cover both talks, but,
Yeah.
but there's an open gap. There's an open side, open thigh. There's one open thigh.
That'd be cool if it only covered one of the genitalia, too.
One thigh open.
One ball open.
I thought of something weird.
Oh, yeah.
A TikTok for men called Dick Talk, but it's like a dick and then one buttock.
It's a
Something to
dick?
think about.
Well, why don't you just call it butt talk?
Well,
Instead of
dick,
TikTok.
Dick Talk, Dick Talk.
Oh, it rhymes with that.
Dick.
Oh, I get what you're saying. You're saying dick and buttock.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dick talk. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
Not good. Let's move on.
What do you mean not
back
good?
To me.
That's
back,
like some...
Wait,
back
Doug.
to the waiter. Back to the waiter. Back to that waiter.
But let me just say, it was good.
Thank you.
Yeah. And now we're kind of, I guess, butt talk. We're kind of having, or dick talk, we're kind of having like penis discourse.
Mm-hmm.
Dick's course.
Dick.
You guys should hear this.
I heard it. I can hear it.
I can't.
It's right. It's like that. You just use the monitors.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I mean, no, you don't have to put them on. You just do like I do.
Oh, face it?
You just
Yeah,
turn it up right there.
Okay.
Okay, whatever.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, that was a dick talk.
Yeah.
One of the dick talks, yeah.
I don't know. I just like these weird. I like
Hollywood stories.
Classic LA.
You got any Hollywood stories?
Nights.
Who's the biggest celeb besides SpongeBob that came into your restaurant?
SpongeBob.
What's SpongeBob?
SpongeBob sounds gross. That's why I like the sound of it. SpongeBob.
What's the Twilight guy? I'm forgetting.
Pattinson?
Yeah, Robert Pattinson came in, and our oven had just like broken, like 20 minutes, 15
Damn,
minutes
he must
before.
have been PO'd.
So I had to be like, "Hey, sorry, you got to go. We're closed." And he looked a little confused, and I gave him a coupon.
He goes like this. I'm a vampire. What's the deal?
He goes,
Give me something cold. I
"What
don't
do you
care."
mean that the oven is broken? What do you mean?"
Wait, you give a coupon?
Yeah, to Robert Pattinson. Do you think he's not really a coupon guy, right?
He could be.
Pattinson?
Maybe he's clipping cubes.
Yeah, he's at home thinking to himself, "Oh, I can save next time I go to the restaurant."
Well, he was in that really good Softy movie, right? Softy.
Yeah. Good time.
Well,
Yeah.
he was also in the really good Eggers movie,
Yeah,
Lighthouse. The Lighthouse. That was my favorite movie of that year.
Really?
The Lighthouse, yeah.
Yeah, Pattinson's one of those guys that
Didn't
kind
see
of
it.
like started out where, I think people didn't like him because he was associated with the Twilight movies, and he's like really become one of the best, I think. I don't know if you guys like him
Who's
that
the
much.
best actor right now, you think?
Nicolas Cage.
For real?
I mean, he's just always the best until he dies. He's actually, his next movie is he's playing, it's so funny, he's playing Dracula.
He is.
Yeah, that's his next one.
Vampire's Kiss 2? Vampire's Revenge?
Vampire's French Kiss. I don't know. It's weird. Vampire's Kiss is, the first time I saw it, I think I was expecting more of a vampire movie, and I didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched it again, and I was like, oh, this movie's awesome. It's just not that. Who do you guys think is the best?
I don't see everything, but I'll say that guy Ben Mendelsohn, whenever he's in something,
yeah.
he knocks it out of the park. But you know what I just watched, which I wasn't going to watch, but then I watched it and I got sucked in, was that Dahmer show.
Oh, is that good?
That actor is good. Yeah. That guy actor is like, he's incredible.
Creepy?
Yeah, he's amazing. And he has this like perfect Milwaukee accent. And he's just like, he's really good.
Yeah,
But it could be a woman too, who's a good woman. Yeah, all the actors in that show were pretty good, actually.
Back in my day, back in the 90s, I was saying my favorite actor was Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
That was who I say my favorite actor was.
Uh-huh.
I mean, and then I also love Jeff Goldblum way before he was so popular now, everybody loves Jeff Goldblum now, but I was always really into Jeff Goldblum.
Did you see that movie he was in with, what's the Charles Bronson one?
Charles Bronson?
You know Bronson, what are those?
Death Wish.
I think he was in the first Death Wish, and the first scene is like Jeff Goldblum like raping a woman.
Is that right?
It's like, whoa, Goldblum! Like this is whoa, it's not the Goldblum I'm used to.
I saw the first Death Wish, but I don't remember the Goldblum.
I'm pretty sure it's like the opening scene.
He's in one of them. I'm trying to think it was the first or second. It might be the first, but yeah, I guess that's
I
not
might be
really
wrong. I just remember like, oh, no internet connection here.
Good.
Oh, the Wi-Fi changed. That's
I
okay.
feel like-
I wanted to just fact check that.
You know
Yeah.
what? Let's just let it be a mystery. You know what? If you're watching at home or you're listening at home or wherever you are,
I got a phone. I could
let
I
us
could,
know in the
I
comments.
could do that. We always say that we never looked at the comments. You know what? I just looked at the.
Where is?
I just looked at the Discord. Oh man.
First Death Wish.
He is in the first Death Wish.
Right. Opening scene.
I like this. I like that. We have Aaron. Aaron can. Fact
like
check.
our-
He's the fact checker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess him.
Well, now I
being
want to
in
look at the
that-
Discord.
It's kind of
We
like
don't
the,
need no Discord.
the Goldblum standard. I guess like the gold standard. Is that a phrase?
Oh, the gold. Oh yeah. How about the gold? The gold Bloombard. The gold Bloombard, or something like that. Or the gold Bloomard.
Are you into that one, Doug?
Come on, I gave you Dick Cock or whatever it's called.
TikTok.
Yeah, but I wanted to move on because I didn't like that either.
Nah,
You
love them all. Lift us up.
Okay,
Come on,
so you saw
lift us-
Pattinson.
Yeah, turned him away.
Gave him a coupon. Did he
gave him a
redeem the coupon?
I haven't seen him since.
It's a bummer.
Yeah. What's his name? Also, it's so funny. I don't remember any actor's name, but he's Bill Pullman was sitting down, and at the end of his dinner, I didn't say anything, but I wish I knew the name of the character he plays in Independence Day. It's like President. Do you know?
No.
But I was like, "Thank you for your service, President," and I said the character's name, and I bought a dessert for him.
Really?
Yeah, and he like laughed big. He like loved it. He's cool.
He was in the movie Zero Effect, right?
Yeah, the one where it's like a bumbling noir kind of detective.
Yeah, that was the second best movie I saw that year.
Yeah.
Whatever was that 1998, maybe, and I think Buffalo 66 came out that year, which was my favorite movie of the year. But
Was he in? I don't know who's Bill Pullman.
He's the
Sounds like a porno actor that works in hand whack-off films.
Pullman.
See? Demonstration. Anyway.
You know him. He was in like Lost Highway and
Lost
and
Highway.
Okay. Yeah.
he played- great sax scene.
Sax?
Yeah. Does he play the sax in that? There's like
Yeah.
that scene is ridiculous, but
I don't remember. I saw that in the theater when it came out. I was scared.
yeah, it's scary.
I went with my friend Juan.
Well, this is Halloween week. When you're listening to this, it'll be last week, but it's
Oh.
Halloween season all season.
Yeah.
It is such a Halloween time, isn't it?
And you know what? Let's get into scary movies for a little bit.
Oh.
What is actually scary for you?
Well, David Lynch movies, of course.
Yeah. I think my brain might be a little broken because now when I watch horror movies, I don't think I get scared anymore.
Right?
Yeah, I think there's a
Oh, I don't know about that. You and I saw that movie Hereditary together. We were both scared.
There's a couple moments, but then that whole ending was like kind of just ruined it for me.
Oh.
No.
I mean, I love that movie, but
That was scary, man. There were some creepy parts of that movie,
Yeah.
Hereditary.
I think
No,
there's-
that's a good example, but that's what
Yeah.
everybody says.
I
And
guess
I
we-
also,
yeah.
I like, we've said this 1,000 times, but I like that other one better, Midsummer. But whatever.
That's not a horror. I don't consider that a horror
It's
movie.
pretty, got some scary ass parts.
I was
horrific.
not scared
It's
about it.
horrific.
I wasn't scared, though.
Okay.
But I do think a lot of times when people talk about like what the scariest movies are for them, a lot of those movies are movies that they saw before they were like 18.
That's maybe true.
True.
Yeah.
And also, I guess the question is it scary? Because I think this is more when you're younger. It like reverberates more where it's scary after you've seen it. Like when you're leaving the theater, you're like scared or you see a shadow and it makes you think of it. But now it's more scary while you're watching it and then it ends, I think, when the credits come up at the end. But maybe that's just being an adult. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I think there's.
You get scared.
You know what's scary though? Haunted houses, live ones. Have you
Oh,
been to
yeah.
one lately?
No.
No.
How would you go? That's the last place you would go.
Oh, I haven't gone in, since I was 30, so it's been a while. But
Shit, that's 2-3 decades.
I went to a haunted house when I was 15, and I thought, I'm never going in a haunted house again. This is just too intense. And then 15 years passed, and I was 30 years old, and I thought, all right, it's been 15 years, I'll go. I went in. I was in there for 2 minutes or 3 minutes. I said, I want out. I mean, I went the whole way through, but I didn't want to be there.
You're like,
I hated it.
You holding on to your partner?
My group. It was with a group of four. It was with a group of
You
four.
ever like just go
Yes, I do.
Put your heads together and just get through it alive?
I gripped them.
Keep your eyes down.
I gripped them. Oh, actually, you know what?
Did you pull them in?
What if you went into a haunted house with like earplugs, the most deafening ones, and then like a welder's helmet, and it just sort of you're just walking through like it ain't shit, like where's that door at? Okay.
Just
if I had a hazmat suit, that could be interesting. A hazmat suit.
Go through with a big flashlight.
Yes.
You can see like how fake it is.
I think so. Is the scariest part about it? It's the threat of something happening, but
it's not just that. It's even when people come into your area and it does something to your body chemically that your body kind of doesn't like. When someone gets in your face, even if they're not.
You know what's scary?
And the imagery.
You know what's scary? The clowns of L.A. The clowns of L.A. I'm sorry, they're scary.
I know what you mean.
These comedy clowns, this whole clown scene.
Yeah.
They come crawling over your chairs, and
I won't go to a show.
I sometimes I do a comedy show. I get there and it's like, oh, it's a clown show. It's scary.
Frightened.
Well,
they come up and they get in your face.
They invade your space.
They invade your space,
and they get mess on you.
It shouldn't be called clowns. They shouldn't be called clowns. They should be called like beasts. I don't know what's the word for that.
Untamed beasts.
Just like something scary. Rarely is it like a silly clown, like it's
always
not like
something
that. It's like confrontational.
It's confrontational, invasive,
and there's a lot of screaming and stuff.
Right.
That's the big popular thing now. Some of my friends do it. They're funny, but I'm saying it's scary.
It's scary. It's not funny.
I leave the room.
Well, do you think there's like a parallel with the popularity of, I guess, clown comedy and also people using clown as a pejorative? I don't know if this is just like online. People refer to someone as like a clown. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if you've noticed this, but
oh yeah, you see the clown emoji.
Yeah, it's like, you're a clown, but
right.
In LA, it's kind of like a compliment. Like that's kind of what people aspire to be.
So I'm a clown.
It just seems like a weird kind of things going on, but yeah, it is. I guess it kind of replaced improv a little bit, right? Clowning, like there was more long form.
Yeah.
There was like UCB and stuff.
All the young comedian kids are doing clowns now.
I think so.
No more funny. Improv, clown.
Well, it's funny. It used to be. Do you remember the dirtiest show in LA show? It was at UCB Theater, and they would do the craziest stuff there. People try to take poo on stage.
Right.
Poos on stage.
I saw someone eat cum.
Shock each other.
I saw someone eat cum.
Eat cum. Yeah, they jacked off on stage.
They jacked off and ate cum there.
Yeah.
The gist of it was
The gist of it was
3 guys ejaculated into cups, and then there was a guy who basically ate the cum and tried to figure out whose cum it was.
Did they you saw them jack off into a cup?
No, they claimed it was real. It could not have been. But also in the show, because they had it in New York also, I saw like penetration on stage.
Nudity was allowed. You actually saw penetration.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say who it was, but one of the guys is actually kind of like a bit of a writer now. He also had like...
Bit of a writer?
Yeah.
So he was on top.
Giddy up, yeah.
He also had like the smallest penis like I've ever seen. Which
compared to your big dong, it's probably anybody.
It was, I mean...
Everybody's the biggest,
Zed showed his penis on a pilot we made.
Oh, yeah.
Not just that. He shows his penis. He used to show his penis a lot.
Wait, so back up, though. So he was having... So penetration, a man and a woman, or what,
yes.
What's the situation there?
Yeah. It was binary.
And his penis in a vagina?
Yes.
Okay.
But the problem was, I don't know if this is...
it sounds hilarious. So like...
Well, the unintentional thing is like, it was kind of a sketch where they set it up, because that's like the whole thing. It is supposed to be
he had a full
funny.
bone.
He couldn't get hard.
Oh, I gotta go.
Time's up, guys. We're done.
Go.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Well, that was... Okay. That was fun. Do I get a coupon?
Well,
ending early.
If the bell didn't ring, I could have gave you one. I was about to give you one.
Yes.
But, no coupon.
Sorry, but
Dirty
Saved by the Bell.
sketch. Yeah, it was. I've seen some nasty stuff, but were you going to say that like that was kind of?
I just was saying it's kind of like the clowns have taken that. I mean, it's kind of like that was the sort of edgy, in your face thing or whatever, is to do that wild stuff that they would do at sometimes at these shows. Even the non-dirtiest show in LA, they would do stuff that was kind of pushing it like that.
Are you talking about the cleanest show in LA?
Now it's just the clowns do that stuff.
Well, I'm wondering if this is what's going to happen. Is like there was this period where it was like SNL, I guess especially during the 80s where it was like...
No, it's S&M.
S&M. It was like with Eddie Murphy, I guess stand-up was like bigger than...
Saturday Night Masochists. sorry, go ahead.
Well, just,
Or sadists and masochists.
I like that.
It's sadists and masochists.
I'm trying to think.
Sadist Night Masochists.
Sadist Night Masochism. It's Sadist Night Masochism.
With Bozo. Krusty.
Krusty. Dana Carvey. He's in there too. He happens to be in there.
I don't know. How many clowns can you name? How many famous clowns are there?
Famous clowns? Bozo, Krusty.
Right. I got those two out of the way.
I know. I was just recapping.
Or whatever.
Pennywise. Oh, it's funny. Do you know that billboard for that movie called Pennyworth?
No.
There's a movie called Pennyworth, or it's a show or something like that. It's about Batman's Alfred guy, Well, I thought when I saw that, I thought, oh, is that an origin story for the clown from It? I forgot his name was Pennywise, but I thought it was, anyway, whatever.
You were saying something. I feel like we cut you off.
Oh, just there was like stand up, the pipeline into like SNL and comedy. There was like stand up, and then there was a period where it was like people coming onto SNL. It's like, oh, this person did UCB stuff. There was like that whole thing, and now I'm wondering if there's going to be like a wave of, and I guess we're starting to see it, of people like on SNL and all the stuff where it's like, oh, they did clowning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
Probably what's happening now.
Oh, that could have. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
I don't know.
Those clowns are brave.
And then they start eating cum on Saturday Night Live. It really does become Sadist Night Masochism or whatever. Or whatever. Hey, Coco is a clown.
Coco, which one's that?
I don't know. Coco the Clown. It's definitely a clown.
That's an old school.
It's like
it's some animated animation. Yeah.
Coco's one of the cool ones.
Does Gacy count?
John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah.
Didn't he dress up as a clown?
And also Ronald McDonald.
Oh, yeah.
Ronald McDonald is pretty famous.
My friend was talking about, I forgot what we were talking about, but he said something about, he was trying to say John Wayne Gacy, but he said William H. Gacy. And I was like, that's the best Halloween costume.
Oh, that's a funny
combo.
William H. Gacy.
Yeah, that's funny.
What if they did a Netflix series on Gacy, but just focused on the clown stuff?
Right, just his clown shows?
Yeah.
No murder stuff at all?
Yeah.
It's funny because, like, in the Dahmer one, like, Gacy shows up.
He does?
Oh, really?
What?
He shows up.
Wait, do they...
They don't interact, but it's like the day Gacy was getting... They just touch on other serial killer things here and there. They have
the serial verse?
Bundy there?
Yeah. It's like the serial verse. Yeah.
There's Bundy there?
Sadly, I don't think he made it.
Al Bundy's in it.
Yeah. When they get shoes.
He just watched. Yeah, it's when Dahmer goes to the shoe store. That's so awesome. Funny. He goes to the shoe store and Al Bundy's there and he's dealing with Jeffrey Dahmer. What a funny scene. Play that one out.
Yeah. Hey, that's a sketch for Saturday Night Masochist.
Yeah.
I was also thinking, I pitched this idea to, I was like talking about this with my wife and she's like, do not do anything with that. But I thought it'd be funny if it's like a BuzzFeed type of article. It's like ranked hottest to least hottest Dahmer victims.
Oh my God, that is fucked up.
At first I thought you were going to say, which serial killer are you?
The quiz?
The quiz, yeah. But no.
Which victim are you?
Which victim's a hot... Wow, that is dark and kind of hard.
But obviously I wouldn't actually do it. It was just like, you Photoshop BuzzFeed, so it's like, oh, I can't believe they did this.
Right, that's the joke. It's like, I can't believe they did this.
Yeah.
You do it on Instagram and like scroll through.
Yeah, like the video real quick, but maybe that's...
video?
Honor was just like, no, just don't do that. I was like, all right. Little did I know that it would come up organically on this and I could still tell the idea.
That's a crazy idea.
It would be pretty viral.
Not in
What
a
you
good
could,
way.
I mean, a way to do it for real was like the characters in the movie. or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
They're actually all pretty handsome, but in fact, they're pretty hot.
Yeah.
I'd kill them. You know what I'm saying?
I'd eat them.
I mean, I'd eat them.
I'd eat them.
I'd drill their
Those
skull.
guys are hot. I'd eat them.
I guess also, I guess he's dead. But yeah, Dahmer could also rank them on how good they taste. Which is also tastiest victims. There was a guy in Japan who killed some people and ate them, and through a series of not loops or whatever, but basically he is still alive. I think he's out of prison, and he's talked about eating someone. Like, you can read this whole interview, and the problem was when he got out of jail, he could just never get a job or anything again, because even though he was able to get out of jail, who's going to hire the guy who murdered someone and ate them?
Well,
maybe like a food tasting company that like makes weird food, like dog food taster or something.
Yeah. I guess he could
be good for that.
or maybe
Yeah.
he could move to a cannibalistic society and thrive there,
I don't think a cannibalistic society is very sustaining, right?
Right. Well, maybe they sustain by finding other people to eat. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do they exist anymore?
I don't think so. Not that I know of.
We're not experts in that, Brent.
Well, I will say this.
Stick to what we know.
Okay. Well, I'll say this. A guy who would give him a job, I think somebody who, if he really has learned a lesson, learned something from it, and he hasn't grown past. Oh, he hasn't.
Yeah, that was like a big part of it. He was like, he got out not
Still
because...
got the taste for...
Yeah.
What did he say about that?
He was just like talking about how good it tasted and how much he wanted to do it. And I think he had an interest in doing it again, but he wasn't, I don't know if reformed is the right word, but like he just got out due to a technicality.
So he said that he did not say I would never do it again, but I want to. Did he say that?
I don't know if he said he would never do it again, but the problem was also the woman that he killed, her family was mad. Like, there was a lot going on. It's definitely an interesting thing to read into. And I know this isn't particularly funny, but this is like a Halloween episode, so I think it's kind of fitting, right?
It's all about darkness tonight.
Yeah.
We should have turned the lights off, actually.
Late night. Lights off.
So he only ate one?
I think he only ate one, but he might have murdered more.
Wait, did he eat the whole thing?
He had her body and I think I'm trying to remember, so I hope I'm not misremembering.
He's a responsible cannibal. He uses every bit.
Yeah.
Every part.
I think he ate it slowly over a period of time because he refrigerated her.
But you wouldn't, I imagine if you were going to eat a body, you wouldn't want to eat, areas where the hands are and stuff like that. You would only eat parts where there's meat.
This is finger looking good.
It's better than a sponge pop. But no, but
I'd start with, where would you start first?
Maybe
you're starving, you're on
the buttocks? The talks?
Buttock?
The buttock?
I would try a talk. A buttock.
Probably a talk, because that's where there's going to be meat, right?
Pure meat.
And then...
Just don't dig too deep. You might get that fudge.
You might get some... It's chocolate filled.
Don't use too sharp of a knife.
That's chocolate filled meat.
Yeah, what are you supposed to eat? The muscle or the fat? Like, what is... I don't eat
muscle
meat.
is meat.
Muscle is meat, right?
Well, there's also organs you can eat. Like, that's probably the healthiest. The liver is the healthiest.
We don't want the organs. That's gross, guys. We only want to eat
strictly muscle.
The human muscle. That's it. So wait, where's their muscles? Okay, well, yeah, the buttocks are one of the biggest muscles, right?
Then you gotta go legs.
The thighs.
And the thighs. Maybe
you want that. You want that drumstick?
Yeah,
a human-sized drumstick.
Deep fry it.
I guess there's a muscle in your cat. The buttocks is probably the best spot, right?
Yeah, I think that is where you would want to start. I guess if you're ignoring organs, but I think I'm just, as a vegetarian, I think I can't participate in this conversation. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't eat meat, but I'm participating. But we can move on. It's kind of gross.
Morally conflicted, not because it's a human, but just because it's like eating the flesh,
Uh-huh.
But you're all for
it's
it?
cooked. No, I'm just saying it's cooked.
Wait, did that Japanese guy do sushi? Because that would be next level gross.
Oh, if it was like raw?
Right.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Our fact checker needs to look into this guy.
It's okay. Let's move on.
One last thought, though. is cooked buttock, is that of a man or a woman, is that when you get it and it's out, say it's a slice of it and you did grill it up in it, does it look like steak?
I would assume so.
That's interesting.
Without the bone, though,
I
right?
like you ask us questions like we know these answers.
Well, that's why you guys are vegetarian now, because I know about your dark little secrets.
Yeah. I guess.
I know about your past.
Would Arnold Schwarzenegger, like, would a bodybuilder then be, like, the best meat? Not to
Oh yeah,
go
that's
back
the
into it,
biggest
but-
feast right there.
Yeah.
All you can eat.
Imagine, imagine really rich cannibals, right? And they have a giant feast, and on the table with an apple in its mouth is an Arnold Schwarzenegger or
Right,
type
like
or
Mr. Universe.
Arnold Schwarzenegger himself. He's just on the table with an apple in his mouth. Yeah,
He's like laying prone.
yeah, but he's so muscular, and it's just
What if he's like tied up like a turkey with his like legs like all bent up? And he's like kind of hogtied.
yeah.
That'd be really cute. You know, they're talking about cooking.
World's
or-
richest cannibals.
Yeah.
Now on TLC.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Well, they're talking about like building or growing meat like in a lab. That would be interesting to the point where when you get to people with more wealth, it's like it's a celebrity that you're eating in addition to what, you know,
Oh,
it's
they
a buy
like
or
coded
something.
it after their DNA or
Yes.
something? Celebrity meat?
Yeah. Oh, like this is De Niro meat right here.
Now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp.
Brent, guess what?
What?
I'm not perfect.
Oh, really?
Sometimes I have problems in my personal life and I just don't know what the solutions are.
Oh, well, you know, Doug, I hear that a therapist can help you become a better problem solver, making it easier to get to those solutions.
That's why I use BetterHelp, Brent.
Oh,
In fact, I currently have weekly sessions with a therapist.
how's that working out for you?
Well, my therapist has helped me become a lot more confident in dealing with my personal problems. So, hey, Poundcast listeners, if you're thinking about giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option.
You know, as the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists available 100% online. Plus, it's affordable.
Just fill out a brief questionnaire to match with a therapist. If things aren't clicking, you can easily switch to a new therapist anytime. It couldn't be simpler.
No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist.
Hey, that's how it was for me.
And that's how it could be for you.
When you want to be a better problem solver, therapy can get you there. Learn more and save 10% off of your first month at betterhelp.com/poundcast.
That's betterhelp.com/poundcast.
I'm going to log in right now, Brent. Somebody had this funny idea on our show of like molding celebrity poo.
Oh,
And then
yes.
you could like put it in your butt and poo their poo.
Oh, interesting.
Feel what the celebrity felt when they took their poo.
Yeah. That's also like a whole thing, fecal transplant stuff.
Well, yeah, that's more of, that's not actually turds. I think that's just like a swiping of the gel.
Okay. I feel like we've talked about, for some reason, I'm like, we've talked about fecal transplants.
We talk about dicks, eating people, serial killers, poo. It's all,
I
it's
have
all
some
in,
info on the Japanese cannibal.
Oh,
So his name is Issei Sagawa. He's 73 years old. He only killed one person, the person
Okay.
who he ate, in Paris in 1981. It was a woman. He was found unfit to stand trial by reason of insanity, so he was put in a mental hospital. He also did necrophilia on the same woman. And he has been out of jail since 1986. He was in a mental hospital. He checked himself out.
Is it, and the reason we got off is because it was like a weird thing. He was a Japanese citizen, but there was like a weird international thing, right? That's why he was able to get out?
Yeah, he couldn't be legally detained in Japan for some reason.
Because he broke the law in France.
Yeah.
well,
It's
So what
very
did he
weird.
do from 86 to now?
He's been a guest speaker and commentator.
he's a
He's
celebrity.
been in an exploitation film.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wait a sec.
He's written books
Oh, yeah,
about
yeah.
the murder he committed.
Oh,
crazy.
Oh, yeah. There was this woman who, I think she killed somebody or killed people, and then she became a celebrity too in Japan.
Well, every serial killer, they get like this happens in the Dahmer. He starts getting fan mail, and they start sending him money, and it's really
to fund his
twisted.
next killing.
It's like he did this most
Like
evil
GoFundMe.
stuff.
It's like yeah.
The most evil stuff, and they're like, "Here's $10. Can I have a signature or whatever?" So then he's like loving it. He's like, "Yeah, I'm popular. I'm a celebrity now."
Yeah.
It just really fuels them, huh? What if somebody did do a Kickstarter or something though, to sort of get their their thing going for eating people or whatever? You know?
I have a good idea for a movie. It's
Okay.
a serial killer buddy comedy. It's called Dumb and Dahmer. Oh, pretty good.
It's
right?
about Dom
Yeah.
DeLuise and
Dom and
Jeffrey
Dahmer.
Dahmer.
Dumb and Dahmer.
They team up because didn't Dom DeLuise do
I don't
cooking
think he's
stuff?
still with us, but we could have someone just play Dom DeLuise.
Yeah.
Are there any other
look,
Doms?
Jeffrey Dahmer's not with us either.
That's true. like even if he was, like, what are you gonna cast him in a movie?
Yeah. See if he can act.
He gets they paid enough money to get him in the movie. Wait, isn't there? There's a Dom that's a Lord of the Ring.
Dominic Monaghan.
Yeah, a Lord of the Ring.
Yeah, Dom, also a common Italian name, right?
Dom Herrera.
Yeah, I'm just saying a famous Dom.
Oh,
Dom
Dom.
Herrera, the stand-up comedian.
What's the Dom, the character Vin Diesel plays in Fast and Furious? Isn't it Dom something?
Oh, it probably is Dom.
Dominic Toretto.
Yeah, that's probably the most famous international Dom.
Okay, we'll get Dom. We get Diesel
Yeah,
and Dahmer. Dom and Dahmer.
yeah.
Actually, I like the idea of Diesel and Dahmer. That sounds kind of funny to me.
This also plays very well with S and B or whatever, the S and M, because
Right.
Dom and Sub, right?
Right.
There's something there.
Diesel.
Go back.
Back to movies.
And horror.
By the way,
too.
what are you drinking? This looks like kind of a Halloween themed drink.
so-
I wish the viewers could see.
They can.
Maybe they could, yeah, it's.
About 55. Oh yeah, you
Just come in there a little bit. Now tilt.
I just don't want it to come
Okay,
out.
Yeah, it's
So about
okay, don't spill.
2 months ago, I started really getting into exercising at home, and I've been like making smoothies, and I've been making all these big changes, and this smoothie is like a part of it, and it's really actually for not going to a gym and just doing everything free weight at home, I've noticed like big changes.
What you gonna put in it?
So this is like a new mix I've been doing. The almond milk, protein powder, kiwi with the skin, whole oats, cashew yogurt, blueberries, banana, kale, chia seeds, and a sprinkle of cinnamon. I think that's it.
10 ingredients, pretty
Yeah.
much.
It's a lot.
Kiwi with the skin.
Yeah. You're supposed to eat the kiwi
Well,
with
once
the
you
skin.
blend it up, it's fine, right?
Yeah.
You're supposed to eat the kiwi with the skin.
Yes.
Says who?
Me. No, it has like a lot of fiber, and there's minerals in it that it's beneficial.
Really? Who said that?
Me. No, I was reading about it, and I started eating kiwis like apples, and it's fine. It's a little bitter, but there's a lot of benefits to eating it.
So what are the big changes?
Just 2 years of like kind of sitting at home. I lost fat, and I've gained a lot of muscle.
Wait, 2 years of sitting at home, that's what did that to you?
Gaining fat, yeah. I kind of just
You
didn't.
said you
move
lost
much.
fat and gained muscle for 2 years of sitting at home.
Oh, no. After 2 years of sitting
Oh,
at home,
gotcha.
like during the pandemic, where
Yes.
I kind of gained some weight, I was able to lose it all, and I've been gaining a lot of muscle, but no weight. So I'm not like building tons of mass, but I feel really good.
What are you doing for exercise?
Mondays and Wednesdays, I do squats and calf raises and abdominal stuff. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do a bunch of arm stuff, chin-ups, push-ups, dips, mountain climbers, and ab stuff.
Hey, you keep this up, man. You're going to be on the dinner table.
You're going to have a
tastes
kiwi
good.
in your mouth. It's going to be an apple.
Yeah.
It was actually, inspiration was, I watched Pumping Iron, the documentary with
Are you
Arnold
serious?
Schwarzenegger. Yeah, I watched it, and I was
Really?
like, I want to look good. I want to like, I don't know if
You don't want to go like that, though.
You want to look like a big buff boy?
kind of.
Really?
I started looking up bodybuilders because I think that was shot in like 72 or 74. if you look at bodybuilders now, I don't like how they look. But if you look at bodybuilders in the 70s, they're more smooth. They're not all like bumpy. Their quads aren't like, I don't know, they look like pineapples or something now.
Right.
They're so big. And people
you see like every fiber of their...
It's very strange. And people use so much bronzer now. It's kind of weird. Back then, it was like, they were big, but it was like smooth.
You ever see that movie from the, I think it's from the 70s, called Stay Hungry?
No.
I think it's called Stay Hungry. Jeff Bridges is in it. And I think, and I think, what's her name? Sally Field is in it, I think.
Okay.
But Arnold Schwarzenegger is in it also. And it's not an action movie or, it is comedic kind of, but it's just such a different setting for Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to see that.
This is pre him becoming an action star, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, around then he also did a Long Kiss Goodbye.
Yeah, he was in the, no, not that's
Long Kiss Goodnight.
That's the
That
movie
makes
with
sense.
Gina Davis.
Well, he was
It's
in the Long Goodbye for like a second.
It's the Long
Yeah,
Goodbye,
yeah.
but he doesn't even speak in that. This he's a I would say a third supporting role in it. Or you know who else is in it? Robert Englund also, who played Freddy Krueger, bringing it back to horror movies.
Clawing it back, pulling it, man. If you ask me around like the 90s or whatever who my favorite actor is, I'd probably say Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Really?
Do you guys love him?
Well, I know T2 is your favorite movie.
Yeah.
In the 90s, I would say the scariest movies for me.
Toy Story 2. T2.
That's funny. It would say, well, that would be TS2 though, wouldn't it?
Okay, I tried. Just keep moving.
I like it. I like
keep moving.
it.
It was a great joke. Now
I
let's
liked
move
it,
on.
but I just was thinking about it.
It's good enough.
Yeah.
Name another T movie that has a sequel. Off the top.
I mean, there's
Tron.
Tron 2.
Yeah.
There's not Tron 2. They just remade Tron.
Tron Legacy, I think is what it was
Oh,
called.
really? TL.
I mean, this one is cheating, but there was a movie called T2, which was Train Spotting 2. They actually...
Oh, there it is. That's
Yeah.
it. They actually called it T2.
They called it T2,
There you
which
go.
I thought was
Trainspotting.
unfair. But it was actually a very slept-on movie. Maybe
It's good?
It's really good, but not enough people watched it for whatever reason.
Why did they show it so late at night? That's why I slept on.
Oh, how about Tremors 2?
Tremors 2?
Tremors 2, T2. There you go.
Yeah. There's got
That was a good joke, and then Brent didn't even listen to it.
I'm sorry. I was thinking about Tremors. What would say?
He was underground.
I was tremoring. What is the
Well, he
joke?
said it was slept on, and I said, why do they show it so late at night? And people have fallen asleep because it's a late night.
It's
movie.
great. It's
Yeah.
great. I love it.
Didn't need to be repeated.
It's great, and I
Didn't
loved
need
it.
to be repeated.
I loved it, and I think it's great.
Didn't need to
I
be
think you're
repeated.
great. I think you're great.
I love you.
So, if I thought the scariest movies in the 90s were, to me, what I would say in the 90s is I would say Jacob's Ladder was one of the scariest movies. What was the bite? What's that bite?
It's like
Put on the headphones or don't.
I heard it.
it's like a soft orgasm. Okay, that's the horror.
Okay.
Jacob's
Jacob's
Ladder,
Ladder.
and Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me.
Yeah.
And actually those are some scary movies.
Yeah, it seems like the 90s is kind of a drop-off as a decade for horror versus like the 80s, where it was kind of maybe a little overdone. But to me, like the 60s and 70s are kind of like the peak of horror. I also get kind of annoyed where people talk about, people say like elevated horror now. But if you go back and watch horror from like more of the beginnings, it used to be more psychological in the way people would describe as elevated. It was in the 80s when they really focused on like all these movies in the first 10 minutes like have women topless, and they focus on the gore and the overtop special effects, makeup of the kills. But if you go back, it wasn't like that. So it's weird to me when people are like, "Oh, this is elevated horror now," when that's how it started.
Mm-hmm. Well, in the 80s, I think this is a pretty scary movie, is Hellraiser. And that's kind of different than a normal horror movie, I think.
That one also, I mean, not to keep going back to S&M, but it's very like S&M with like the leather outfits and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Do you remember, have you ever seen this movie? I think it was made twice. Like the first one's Dutch, I think, and then maybe they remade it. I saw it once and I thought it was like absolutely so scary, but I couldn't remember what it's called, but I think something about people being buried alive. Does that ring a bell at all?
This sounds like the. Oh, I thought you were like setting up a joke.
Not a joke.
Okay.
No, not a joke.
It kind of sounded like a setup, right?
Right. What's the Dutch movie where people were buried alive, and it's something related to Dutch culture? That
Yeah, it was just not a horror at all. I mean, the Dutch ones I could think that were remade. They did Funny Games, but
I saw Funny Games.
I think that's a Dutch one. Good Night, Mommy.
No, isn't that a German movie?
Haneke, he did things that were Dutch and German, and so I don't know what country that was the origin of.
Did you like Funny Games?
I loved it. I mean, I think Haneke's just like easily one of the greatest filmmakers. If you guys haven't seen it, there's a clip where he was doing a round table because he was nominated for I think it must have been a more, where it's like him and John Krasinski, and there's like two other just very out of their depth like directors with him, and he's going off on Spielberg with Schindler's List and how he thought it was just so messed up that he made something that was so horrific historically entertaining. He was just like, you should not build suspense out of something like that. Like that is, and whatever. And it's just these guys like sitting next to him, you know, like the guy from The Office and stuff, just kind of like, okay, yeah. And he's like really getting into like the depth of like what art and cinema are supposed to be. And then it just cuts to John Krasinski like doing a face to the camera, like, whoa, okay. But yeah, I love Michael Haneke.
You seems like you love most movies you watch. Is that right? Do you dislike anything?
Yeah. There are definitely movies that I don't like, but it's, you know, I've seen like so many that it's easier to focus on the ones that I do like. And also, I think it's fun to watch a movie that you might not love and try to figure out what about it did work, rather than
what's a movie like that for you, if you don't mind saying?
That I didn't like recently?
No, that you didn't really like, but you found things that you liked about it.
I mean, I guess one recently was that because I watched it a couple days ago. Don't Worry, Darling. The one with Florence Pugh and Harry
I've heard
Styles.
about this, but I've not.
It wasn't very good, but there's like an idea that presents itself like 90 minutes into it. I thought that was kind of interesting. You know, Florence Pugh was great, and so was Chris Pine, but there's a lot of problems with the movie. I think it's very rare to have a movie that just completely doesn't work.
Does she smell bad?
P.U. Florence P.U.
Florence Pugh.
Funny Games was
yeah, so-
Austrian, by the way.
Austrian. Okay. Yeah.
That movie, Funny Games, I don't know.
You didn't like it?
I appreciate it, but it's such a feel bad movie.
Yeah.
It's just,
It was the opposite of
I don't
funny.
want to spoil anything, but I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
Kind of leaves you feeling like, what the fuck?
I mean, the whole movie is just like...
But then there is that one
Yeah.
scene. You know what I'm talking about? There's one very unique
I think...
part
Can
that
I
it's
say
kind of like
rewinding?
it's
Is
kind
that
of like a rule breaking. He kind of breaks the rules of cinema in it.
Yeah.
That's like, maybe that was the groundbreaking thing he did.
But I mean, that whole movie is just like, you're watching grisly acts, and as you're becoming entertained, the movie very much like breaks the fourth wall and is like, why are you enjoying this? Like, why do you enjoy watching people get hurt in a movie? And I think that was the whole point of the movie. It's just like,
well, you want the bad guys, you hate them so much, and you know, the actors and everything, they play that so well. You want them to. Okay, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen this movie from like 1991,
7.
whatever. Fast forward 1 minute. I'm just gonna say, you want those guys to die so bad. You want them. The whole movie, they're torturing these poor innocent people, and you want them. And then they do this part where some guy picks up a. I don't know what he does. He gets a shot in at the bad guy, and then bad guy looks at the camera and goes, and he rewinds, and then he stops that from happening. So then, like, the bad guys never get killed.
yeah.
And they just torture this family, and then you think one of them's gonna live, and then eventually they just all get killed.
Yeah, I think because this idea
Spoiler
that...
alert, over.
Yeah. It was also 25 years ago.
Whatever.
I think it's
just
okay.
go watch it.
It's also a movie that I don't think spoilers matter for it because it's whatever. But like, yeah, as an audience member, you're kind of like...
It's also called Funny Games, so it's sort of this like... It's highfalutin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, Haneke is very, very pretentious.
What else did he do?
He did Amore, which is like probably the most like disturbing movie and sad I've ever seen, where it's like an old couple, and I think the woman is getting like dementia, and it's about their relationship dissolving, and it's just incredibly sad.
Another feel bad?
Yeah. Cachet, The White Ribbon. I think he did Benny's Video. I hope I'm not mixing him up with Lars von Trier. But yeah, his movies are, it's just like White Ribbon. It's like Germany pre-Nazi stuff, but it's like focused on kids, and you're like, oh, these are the kids that would grow up to become Nazis, but it never really says it. I don't know. It's I know you mentioned his movies called Funny Games, but his movies are like not humorous at all.
Right.
Maybe not.
Those are the real scary movies, like Funny Games kind of movies.
Yeah,
those are actually scary.
Well, what's funny?
You freaked out by the end of it.
But people love horror movies that are fun.
Yeah.
And that aren't scary. Do you know what I mean? Like some people just like a horror movie where it's more about trying to escape from this killer, and it's not like truly grisly.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, those aren't really scary. They're just more of like an entertainment. It's like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I like psychological, Hitchcockian kind of. I don't know if he would.
I don't think that's
horror. But a lot of his stuff is kind of horror.
Is psycho horror or is it thriller? I think it's more of a thriller.
Yes. I think there was the suspense thriller genre, and I was like kind of trying to figure out what differentiates the two, because I've realized that my favorite horror movies are the ones that are more suspense thriller. I think horror, it's just more horrific.
To me, I think horror
like kind of.
I think horror to me, I think is more has to do with something supernatural, I think. Is that right?
Not necessarily.
Well, like Halloween, the first one, I mean, there's nothing supernatural in that one. Or like, I mean, we're talking about serial killers. Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer with Michael Rooker from 1986. That one is like, it's so horrific and uncomfortable. It's like, is that horror? Even though it's just based off of a real serial killer?
Is it?
I don't know. Todd Phillips?
Todd Phillips.
He directed it?
Oh, did he? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. What is horror? What is horror?
Let's talk about comedies. Let's wind it down with some comedy talk.
Yeah, let's get funny.
Do you like?
I was going to say one thing about
about comedy horror
and haunted houses. I think with haunted houses, if 1 out of 100 people that went into them actually got attacked by the people in there, I think the whole experience would be much scarier. Because
there are ones where they are allowed to touch you and stuff.
You sign a release, and you could be the one that's like grabbed and kidnapped or something.
The whole thing
have that.
I think the scariest thing is this idea of like the threat of something happening, but there's a part of you that knows that they would never actually hurt you. But even if it was 1% or if it was 0.1%, the possibility that something could actually happen, and it wouldn't, because chances are it wouldn't happen to you, I think it would make the whole thing much scarier.
Well, people probably have been accidentally touched, but here's the thing. I have a friend, and you're friends with him too, and so are you. And he went to a haunted house recently with a group, and they had to sign a waiver and do it on video too to make sure
like a deposition.
Make sure it was. But they're allowed to touch you in this haunted house, and they are allowed to do other things to you or whatever. Anyway, it sounded pretty nuts, and there were a couple things that they allowed you to opt out of actually during the haunted house, but. Well, look, it's Andrew and Cole and Jack Wagner, who's been on the show, and also...
what did they get? They get fingered?
No, they got Pullmaned. They went in and they basically... Well, first of all, one part, some guy takes live roaches and puts them in their pockets and stuff, and in their hoods and stuff like that.
Oh.
Supposedly, that's what they say. I can't believe that. That's crazy to me, right?
Where is this? Is this in LA somewhere?
Yeah, I think so. Where was it? I forgot. And then they went into the Cole did all the rooms, and one of them was they put him in some kind of cage or something, and they dunked the cage into water, And if he said it feels like you're gonna drown or something, he says
You get fully dunked in water.
something
in a
like
cage?
that. He was in a cage.
Nah.
Yeah, and they put him in the water, and obviously it's all scary sound effects and stuff while that's happening too. Oh, there was another thing too. They all didn't do this, but there's a barber shop part of it. There's 17 rooms.
They give you a bad haircut.
They do. They shave the number 17 into your head.
No.
And
What?
they were trying to make them do it, but they ended up saying they just refused to do it, and they
They're like,
didn't.
you
end up
signed
doing
the
it.
video, dude. Who's showing you the video.
Yeah, I know. I don't know, but people do it. They get the 17s shaved in their heads.
Damn.
So the thing is called 17.
It's called 17, something like that.
There's
It's called
17 rooms, maybe?
17 rooms or something like that. Yeah, they have to put you in groups of 6, so they were with a dad with his 2 teenage daughters, and there was the 3 of them with. I mean, they should tell the story, but it sounded pretty nuts.
One,
The daughters are 17.
2,
I would guess.
They had
6.
What's that?
Does it say sex? Is there like
Six.
a
It says
waterboarding room? You just go in and
No,
you get waterboarded?
no, but there was. Did you ever hear of McCammy's Manor?
No.
This is in
No.
San Diego, and it's the most hardcore. It's not even a haunted house anymore. It's really going back to S&M. It's really some sort of S&M kind of thing, really, where you go in, sign the waivers. Guess how much admission was to this place?
$100.
No, a can of
One?
dog food or something like that. So basically, the guy,
I would not have guessed that.
the guy gets.
He's like happy to do it for free.
Yes,
you know?
exactly. So it was I want to say it was an 8-hour long room or something like that, or 7 hours, and it's for intense thrill seekers or something like that. But to me, it's just some guy who just wants to torture people, basically. But they'd had waterboarding in that room, in that place. It's crazy. McCammy's Manor. Just look it up. I went on a deep dive on that one night, and just there's so much stuff about McCammy's Manor. It's really nuts.
I guess the question is, why would you do all that just to have the experience of like a fear, but it's like in a safe environment or something?
It's not even that safe. I mean, to me, I guess it's for people who want to test their limits of what they can take, and something like that. It's crazy. They go easy and harder on depending on the person, it seems to me.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what would be really scary. I think for some people it would be like if they did video of you, and then by the end they edit it where they make it look like you say something anti-Semitic, and they're like, we're going to put this video online, and you're like, oh my God, that would like ruin my life. And like that possibility, I don't know.
How about this for a haunted house? It's like everyone goes through some hallways and there's people with chainsaws and it seems scary, but then you all go into this big open room, like a theater, like a movie theater. And then you're like, where's my phone? Somebody like walks on stage and they got your phone. They plug it into the giant screen and they just go through your phone. They go through your emails, your DMs, your photos. They're scrolling through your photos and there's a bunch of strangers and they all turn and look at you and they're looking at the pictures. That would be haunted, right?
I would not like that.
How about?
I would not like that.
Well, actually,
even though I don't really have anything bad on there, it's just like embarrassing to
Yeah.
just to be.
Oh, that's a
know what I
haunted
mean?
house.
Like,
That's
it's a haunted
extreme
house.
embarrassment. It's just like they
Right.
really embarrass you.
You got to. Well, you do have your.
How about a cringe house?
You do have your swastika penis pictures, though.
Cringed house. Oh, I hope they don't find that folder.
You don't want to find that the swastika
Hope
penis
they don't
pictures.
find that.
It's your penis. They're penis pictures, but they're in the shape of a swastika. You know what I mean? Or it's 2 penises that are kind of making a swastika somehow.
Damn, I don't know how you do that. I guess I have to see these pictures.
You should know how.
What is that?
Because your penis is so big. But anyway, what I was going to say was this makes me think, what about a haunted house called Your Worst Nightmare? And they kind of somehow do some psychological.
You sleep in there one night and
evaluation
maybe
or
they record
Oh,
your
yeah.
dreams and then they reenact them.
Yeah, something like that, where they do your nightmares.
Yeah.
They actually
you
find
know?
find out what scares you.
Yeah, or they do some psychological evaluation, and it's a custom-made nightmare house.
Yeah.
I mean, I've said this before on the show, but the Scare B&B. It's a really good idea.
I never heard of that. That's new.
Really?
I think
It's an Airbnb experience where you go to a house and it's haunted. It gets haunted by the proprietors. You can pick what you want. Like, what do you want? Ghosts that slam shelves in the middle of the night? Do you want like a psychopath in the house stomping around
Yeah.
with a mask on. You know, do you want like Michael Myers? You want Jason? You want Freddy? Do you want to hear like noises coming out of the closet? Do you want like wind?
It's custom.
Pick your haunt.
How about this?
Or surprise me.
Shuffle.
How about
Shuffle.
what about a scare B&D? You know, bondage and discipline. That's going back to the whole S&M thing.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw that recent movie, Barbarian, but it is a little.
Don't say anything about it because I do want to see
I
that.
do want to see it.
It is a little scare B&B.
Oh.
That doesn't.
Don't say anything.
They stole my idea.
They might have. It's also the guy behind it is
It's
he's
Zach
in the
Kreger.
comedy world.
It's Zach Kreger. He's my friend.
Yeah.
He's in The Whitest Kids You Know.
I think I know Zach Kreger.
He's really funny and really talented. I didn't even know that he was making this horror movie.
Yeah. It's not only was it really good, but pretty much everyone I know who saw it loved it. That's an interesting thing too, is the pipeline of people from the comedy world, Jordan Peele, you know, like doing horror movies where it's like building up that level of suspense, like before you have like a punchline. It's like kind of doing it the same thing, but instead of a punchline, it's like something horrific.
A slash line.
Yeah, slash line. I think it's similar, I guess, like skill set in doing the two.
Aaron, how long have we gone? Because we have a hard out today.
We are at 59 minutes.
Oh,
59 minutes.
let's
Perfect.
wrap it up.
Zed, you still doing podcasts?
Yeah.
Plug it up.
So you did a thing. It's on all the podcast apps. Interview people about something that they specifically did. At this point, it's mostly been people in the music world, like the punk hardcore world, bands, or people that were in bands like Fiddlehead, Ceremony, No Warning, you know, just kind of the more aggressive stuff, and just talking long form about the process.
Hell yeah. So check that out. So you did a thing.
Yeah.
And we would like to we're going to keep going Unzipped. If you want to keep listening to the show, we're going to keep talking to Zed. You got to subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/Poundcast.
Thank you to Aaron Bruntgart behind the boards.
Behind the board.
And thank you to Jack Birch for his help. Jack Birch is
L.Bircho on social media.
I wasn't sure if that was too loud enough to hear it, but yeah, L.Bircho on social media, and YouTube is L Bircho. And Jackie Montana. Thank you to Jackie Montana for her help as well.
And thank you to you listeners. We'll see you unzipped. If not, we'll see you next week.
Doug on the Poundcast. Doug on the Poundcast.